Hello, Success Family. Welcome to this keynote session from the Customer Success Festival Series. Myself, Subha Srinivasan. I head Global Delivery and I am the head of Customer Success at Rakuten Symphony for the Unified Cloud BU. And today, it's my pleasure and privilege to share some learnings that I have done in the past, a favorite research topic, I would say, on how companies can build brand, build a brand image, build brand resonance by leveraging customer success. Why this topic is important is because traditionally we've looked at brand building as a responsibility of the product. There is a customer market segment, they face a problem, and so we introduce a product or a service that builds their trust, that earns their trust, and they keep buying it, right? In all this, the customer experience or the customer success itself has never been a solution to answer to customers' problems. We've always built brands by building products ground up. Is this necessary today? Is it possible to reverse the topic? Is it possible to change this and actually build a brand by building a stellar customer success organization? It seems like it is possible, and it also seems like some really successful companies are already doing that. And today's session is about that. Let's go. All right. Today I'll be talking about my learnings, my observations, and my research with regards to building a customer success organization that will put the brand building efforts of an organization on a rocket ship. Now, before we get into all that, let's look at what is a brand. Is brand a product? No, a brand is not a product. It is not a person. It is not the service. A brand, simply stated, is trust built over time, right? And how you do it could be through a product or a service or a problem that you solve. Or sometimes you could actually do it with just a brand personality. For example, Oprah. The brand Oprah does not make products. It deals with people, it grabs onto customer sentiments and people sentiments, and it echoes at a larger than life scale to the rest of the world, leveraging media, right? So that's an example of a trust one using a person as the brand identity. So let's be clear about this definition of a brand before we go and talk about how to build a brand, right? And there's no better person to explain or set that context as to what a brand is other than Steve Jobs, who was one of the greatest marketing gurus and a brand building ambassador that existed during our times. Now, please bear with me as I speak about the various steps that are involved in building a brand itself. This pyramid that you see on the left hand side is actually Kelly's brand identity pyramid, where he talks about the various steps that you take and do before you build what you call as a brand that is successful and it has customers support. All right, I will walk you through the process and stay with me while I talk about it. The pyramid starts bottom up. The first and foremost layer for building a brand is to have a very clear brand identity, which is the why of your organization. Why should your organization exist? What problems does it solve? What customers are it solving it for? Right? So, this brand identity is extremely important. If I have to draw an example, which is Amazon, and I'm going to use Amazon as an example throughout this conversation because it resonates with the points that we are trying to make here, right? Amazon exists for customers to buy any products from A to Z via a convenient online shopping experience at the lowest price possible with very easy returns, refunds, and an ability to buy and exchange without any hassle with extraordinary customer experience. That's the why of Amazon. And every company should start with that. Like Simon Sinek says, it is important to know for yourself to be very clear on why the brand exists. Now, the next step from here on is where the fun starts, right? Anybody can write a why on a piece of wood. The second aspect of this is that what does it mean to the customer, right? What does it actually mean to the customers? Are the customers able to identify or relate to the solution you're offering? Do they resonate with it? Do they feel that it solves a want or a need or a fear or an aspiration that they have? What does it mean to the customer? That is very important, which is where your customer sentiment and a market analysis, and then launching it to the right kind of customers and constantly watching their sentiment and fine tuning your value proposition is extremely critical. Now, the third step, you have a why, the customers understand why you exist. How are they? What is the perception in their mind? They have a perception about your brand by now. Now, what is the perception that is going on in their mind? How are they judging you against a competitor product? Right? Are you able to establish yourself as the default answer to that particular problem or a need that the customer has? Have they come to that level of maturity? What are their feelings towards you? Nah, no, the product is not good. No, or wow, they are the one. Right? Do you know with absolute clarity that the customer understands your why and the customer feels positive about your why? So this is brand response, and it is usually seen in the first purchase. If the customer is ready to open their wallet and buy your product, then you know that you have created a first positive experience. But it doesn't stop there, right? The next step is the brand resonance, right? The customer understands why you exist. They have built a positive brand image. They have the first level of trust. They have opened their wallet. And in that first experience, you have wowed them, right? You've blown their mind to the point that they are able to identify with the product, the value, the service, and now they become repeat customers. The repetition is extremely important. They are able to buy it again and again, and now they become your advocates. The advocacy that you're able to extract out of your customer, and for them to be able to repeat their purchase and to be able to go tell the rest of the world that your product is simply out of the world and they should buy it for that specific problem, is the greatest achievement of all. So, when we are building a brand and when we are going through a continuous brand building exercise, and when we want to do more and more of business, our focus, the primary order of business should be to have that small set of customers buy again and again and again, to the point that they will not stop talking about your product to the rest of the customer base. And that rest of the customer base should become repeat buyers, and they go and tell the rest of the world. That is how your circle of customers and that is how your circle of expansion happens. So now you understand why customer success is important, because customer advocacy can come only from customers that buy your product again and again and again. If they are not your repeat customers, they are not going to be your advocates. So let's hold that in mind when we go through a brand building exercise and also build trust. Now, therefore, what should we be doing? Right? The traditional way of doing a brand building exercise and to go through the entire marketing. The job of marketing is to tell a story, right? You have this problem. Oh, it's very dangerous to have that problem. And so there is a villain. The problem is the villain. The customer is the common man in need and enters your brand, which is the hero, right? I am the hero. I am here to solve your problem because I cannot see a person suffering like this. And the recommendation is done by the marketing, right? The marketing is usually the cinematographer, director, and the storyteller. The job of the marketing is to tell a story in such a beautiful way that the customer is able to understand what you're offering and build trust. And traditionally, we've always started by articulating the value proposition and the products and the services, right? We build a product, we articulate certain set of features, we talk about the experience, right? How customers can actually buy the product, how do they operate the product, is it giving them a positive experience? And then we go talk about the benefits, right? What are the benefits of buying the product? And a story is usually stitched around these three elements by the marketing. It is about time to change that approach, right? It doesn't suffice to keep talking about the products and the services and the experience. That narrative is gone. It is outdated. It has stopped working. And most of the current marketers know that. So, therefore, it is important to start the story with the customer. What does the customer want? What does the customer need? What is the customer scared of today? And are you able to narrate from that point of view? Are the marketers of today able to imagine ourselves in the lives of a customer? What are their wants and needs, their fears and aspirations, and are we able to tell a story originating from that? So, and before the marketers can tell the story, therefore, it is important for the business to build a company around that story. It is important for the company to build products and services after starting from the customer, after understanding their wants and needs, and after understanding their fears and best aspirations, and to build an organization that is functionally cut out for them. The product builds a product to address those fears. The customer success exists to so that the customer experiences the product in a positive way. The marketing tells a story in a way that the customers can understand a day in their lives and how they are using their product. And sales is able to sell it to the right set of customers. Right? So it is important, therefore, for us to start building organizations with a customer centric view and their point of view in mind. Now, I'm not going to talk about the other functions and customer functions like sales and marketing. I'm here to talk about how customer success can build itself with such a customer centric view. Now, is it possible to build a company like that? Is it possible that you just deal with customers, you just start with customers and only focus on customers and not really go about building products? Yes, it is possible. And I'm able to strongly say this is because I have an example that is that is thriving right now in front of us, led by Jeff Bezos, Amazon. Right? Amazon did build no product. They did not have a single product when they started. They did not build a single technology. The internet or the web or the advanced networking or the ability to build a marketplace were technologies that were already present. Amazon brought the various technologies together. Amazon brought the various products together. But how it differentiated itself was purely through its customer obsessed, customer value driven, and customer centric culture. Jeff Bezos is very famous for his saying that from the day one, he was very obsessed with customer, very particular that when any customer of any age enters and uses Amazon, they should have a very positive customer experience. It should be hassle free. They shouldn't make a phone call. And even if they did, that interaction with their customer success representative should be so smooth that that transaction should be eliminated in the future. That's the kind of aspirational goal that he had. And then delivering customer value. Any product at the lowest price possible in just a few days of placing order, easy returns. Those are the values that Amazon offers to a customer. Even though the product belongs to someone else, Amazon is able to push the manufacturers and the makers towards that single-minded value that it has set across its various vendors and customer service. So it is possible. Jeff Bezos and Amazon have shown us the way that without building a single product, without inventing a single technology, it is possible to build a successful company purely from a customer want and a customer need point of view. Now, let's say we are going to replicate it, right? As a customer success function, which I'm assuming that is going to be the forefront of such companies. How do we do that? Such an aspirational goal is achieved by focusing on two primary functions. The first one is the culture of the company. The second one is the customer advocacy, right? So these are the two goals. That's it. You just focus on these two parameters and you will have a company that is really thriving without a product or really a technology from ground up, right? How do you build a culture of a company that is actually customer obsessed? It cannot be a fluffy aspirational sentence or aspirational target that is loosely defined. Every function starting from the top down all the way to the bottom, every function, sales, marketing, product, customer success, research and development, should have a customer driven goal, customer success driven outcome, no matter what they do. So let's see, right? These are start with four distinct goals. The first one is core values. Everyone in the organization and in that particular division, and especially in customer success, should have business value alignment. Are they aligned with the value that the customer expects and the value that the organization offers? Do they believe in the why? Are they here to amplify that why and to let the customer understand that we are here to deliver that why? Everyone during the onboarding process should be trained to understand why you're in the business for and what you're doing. And second, the subject matter expertise. Now, subject matter expertise is non-negotiable. I have seen customer success organization that actually perform as a postman from product to the customer, or they also offer or behave as a postman from sales to the customer, both of which are wrong, right? It is very important to be subject matter experts in the product and the technology that you operate in. Otherwise, the customer will not be able to build the trust with you. You've lost control the moment you have to look back at a product or a sales or someone else for help to solve a customer problem. So, the customer success organization, very specifically, right, outside of marketing and sales, everybody should be, but the customer success organization should have complete technology expertise and subject matter expertise in the space that you're offering and in the space that the customer operates. It is very important to measure the subject matter expertise, and people that are not aligned on the business value or that do not bring in the core expertise should be dealt with whatever the organization chooses to do. It is important to upskill. It is very important to have core value alignments on delivering value, bringing in the expertise, and understanding the space that you're in. The second one is KPIs, right? I've told earlier also that successful organizations are able to define goals and set actions that actually translate into specifics of the end goal, right? I will show that with examples in the next slide. It is very important to define customer centric OKRs or KPIs and targets, and they should be in terms of customer centric goals. It cannot be in terms of a specific organizational goals. For example, the organization might want a goal that it would want to achieve a 10 million revenue target by the next sales quarter. But that is not the headache of a customer success organization. You cannot pass those goals to your customer success organization. For a customer success organization, a customer centric KPI must be on the likes of CSAT, must be on the likes of service assurance, must be on the likes of service SLAs. And these matrices should go top up into a revenue accomplishment, more customers, etc. But it has to be translated in terms of KPIs that are very specific to that specific function. Behaviors. Now, the behaviors are extremely critical. Today, I mean, we live in a world where we agree that soft skills are as important as technical and subject matter expertise skills. Are they showing urgency? Now, if a customer success organization does not show the urgency to solve the problem and it sleeps on a customer's problems forever, it is bound to fail. Ownership. Are you ready to take extreme ownership even if it is an issue with the product or if it's an issue in the sales cycle? Are you ready to take extreme ownership and go beyond the call of your duty and solve it even before the customer raises their voice or raises a ticket? Value delivery. Are you focusing on delivering value incrementally so that the customer is wowed and they are actually feeling that they are moving up the pyramid? Are you focused on that? Is the customer success team focused on such behaviors and are not really treating it as, a 9 to 5 job where they are just here to do the job? No, you're here to deliver value. And are you focused on growth? Are you focused on customers' growth? Are you really having a growth mindset? Are you learning continuously? Are you having a research mindset to see where the growth is? And are you propelling your organization towards that? These are very important behaviors to bring to the table. And finally, skill. It is possible that 5 members of your team, 10 members of your team show the behavior, show the value alignment, and show the KPIs are able to meet the numbers. But that doesn't cut it. It is very important to have skill. It is critical to look at the organization itself as a massive mission where things will operate seamlessly like a well oiled machine. And that is achieved only by processes and tools. When you have the maturity at the right level, are we building enough processes and tools so that the culture becomes a norm? It is not an exception. It is not a one time behavior that is exhibited by one or two freak people. It is exhibited as a uniform behavior by every single person in the company, and more so by the customer success team. So building a culture and being able to monitor is a very important thing. And so culture usually means English. No, there are specific goals that we can set towards driving this, and these are some sample goals. So let's say that we say understand our most engaged audience. What does it mean? How do you actually measure it? The way to do it is, let's say you have a community platform. Onboard 10,000 customers onto your community platform. Make sure that 85% of them take your surveys and complete it on time. And 50% of them have a complete customer success profile defined so that you're able to understand their sentiments and take further actions based on that. Another example, foster customer advocacy, pure English. What does it mean without goals? So, example goals to set would be increase 10 plus points on NPS, increase participation on CSAT by 20%, and improve retention on even non engaging customers by 15%. These are goals, right? Which are the reward of certain behaviors that we want to actually measure. Third one, internal change management. What does it mean? Nothing, right? An ideal metric would be 75% of the individual contributors have a customer powered success metrics, even if they are, let's say, an individual contributor with great technical expertise. The ideal goal for them would be build a feature that is consumed by customer again and again by at least 80% of the customers. That could be a metric. So it is very important to define KPIs that actually translate into a customer specific action and goal if we want to really build a customer obsessed culture. Now, the next one, as I said, is advocacy. Now, advocacy is when you take the customer to a point where they speak about you when you're not present. They have built enough trust that they become your sales and marketing engine. They are actually your salesmen, right? How do we do that? Now, to be able to do that, we need to clearly have one goal and one understanding, right? We are in the business of focusing on a small group of customers for repeat business, and we are not in the business of reaching out to large customers where you are okay to lose 30% of the customers on year basis. If that is the organization's goal, it cannot build a customer success or a customer focused organization. We start small. We focus on a narrow set of customers and we make them repeat. The second time they repeat, the third time they repeat, they are going to bring in and expand your pool to the next set. And that will expand it to the next set. So as they mature, as customers bring more and more referrals, as they bring more and more positive reviews, is how you grow and we grow our customers. The era of customer advocacy done by marketing, transforming their own pride and their own products and their own features and going all out on every media is gone. Today, whether we like it or not, social media platforms, referrals, the reviews that are given on the feedback are the only marketing engine that we have, and it is only through customers that we grow. So it is very important to retain that customers and to have them to grow your customer base. And if there is a process and framework for it, it is very important to put in a framework for amplifying customer advocacy, which is to continuously understand your customer sentiment analysis, which is why the previous example that we saw, to understand a customer avatar, to understand a customer role, and to monitor their sentiment continuously is very important, and to filter out the positive and to filter out the negative. And when we find out the positive experiences that a customer usually has, we take out those positive experiences and we do contextual analysis and actions. What made the customer give a positive feedback? Was it a product? Was it a service that we provided? Was it a timely delivery or was it a timely resolution? What made the customer give us a positive review? What gave that positive experience? That positive experience can we take and can we make it a norm? Can we make it the default standard? And then can we put in a process that goes into a feedback loop and that becomes a norm of the product or the service or marketing or the sales? Now with this positive experiences, collecting all these positive experiences and positive feedback is how we stitch a story. We go tell marketing to go and tell the customers to talk about this positive experience. And we do reward them using gamification strategies whenever they give us a positive feedback. Like, for example, we tell them, we take them to the preferred customer brand, and we work with marketing and to help us to amplify these positive stories through the customer's own mouth. That is what customer advocacy is about, right? When we set up enough ammunition and framework and tools for the customers to realize that they had a very positive experience and to go talk about it in various tools on their own, right? It is like creating magic. It is a mix of marketing, gamification, which is actually rewarding, right? Gamification is actually the use of rewards to speak about positive experiences, so that we do not invest so much in sales, we do not invest so much in marketing, but we build so much brand resonance and build enough trust. The customers become your brand ambassador. So it is very important to look out for positive experience, to create personalized marketing content and enough tools and ammunition to amplify that marketing content and the positive feedback, and then have the customers talk about it on their own. Now, this is Seth Godin. Who doesn't know him? He is supposed to be the marketing guru of, building brand from a customer point of view. And just look at what he says, right? At any random order. Be an intuitive marketer, right? Pick up intuitions. Be that antenna that can pick up customers' opinions, feedback. Always have that antenna in place and always connect at a human level. It is very important to understand that we are all in the business of people, in it for the people, by the people, and it is immaterial what level it is. It is important to make that connection at a human level and understand what drove them to have that positive experience, and let them speak the truth unhindered. Today, brands openly display both positive and negative feedback in their websites, and they do not discourage negative feedback because, contrary to what we believe, that negative feedback is what builds the trust. So let true trust. So let customers speak the truth and create a positive story out of it. Build stories out of negative experience too. Oh, we made a mistake, right? And so we will solve this. This is what we are doing, and respond to customers, respect customers that give a negative feedback openly. Let the world know that you're genuinely interested in being transparent. Find the shared experience and build trust with your audience. Let it be transparent for the customers to see that you're not here to mask negative feedback, but you're in the business of building trust. And then become someone that the customers find you're worth seeking out. The marketing stops, the sales engine stops. Given all this customer advocacy that is happening, and the fact that you're genuinely sharing what is going on about your product and build trust, the customers will seek out to you. That is the new norm for customer expansion and growth. Therefore, we as customer success organization, let us hold on to what we were created for: repetitive business and customer advocacy that will put us on a propeller ship for more customers, more positive experience, and for building a brand that is genuinely built on trust. Thank you.